Some moments change everything, and you don't see them coming. That night, I thought I was doing something kind for my family. I had no idea it would end with my dad throwing me out of the house like I was nothing. My name is Sophia, and I'm 27 years old. I've always believed that love means sacrifice, especially when it comes to family. I gave up more than anyone knew, money, time, even my own dreams, just to see my little sister succeed. But in return, I got betrayal. Cold, cruel betrayal. It all started on a Saturday night. We were having a small family dinner. My parents, my younger sister Nora, and a couple of close family friends were all there. I had spent the entire day in the kitchen preparing the food. I'm a nutritionist and food blogger, so cooking isn't just something I enjoy, it's what I do best. Everything on that table was made by my hands, fresh, healthy, and safe for everyone. Especially for Nora, who has a peanut allergy. I've always been careful about that. Dinner started off well. Everyone was laughing, complimenting the food. Even my mom for once said something nice about the flavors. I was finally feeling like maybe, just maybe, I was appreciated. Then it happened. Nora suddenly coughed loudly, her face turning red. She pushed her plate away and clutched her throat like she couldn't breathe. Everyone stood up in panic. My mom rushed over. My dad screamed, "Sophia, what did you put in the food?" I was frozen. Nothing she's allergic to, I swear. But Nora shook her head, pointing at me, tears in her eyes. "You knew. You added peanuts." "I didn't. Why would I ever do that to you?" I asked, completely shocked. But no one listened. My dad stood up from his chair, eyes full of anger. "Get out. I can't stand you here for another second." I stared at him, trying to hold back the tears. Not one person defended me, not even my mom. They looked at me like I was some monster. I picked up my purse, walked to the door, and didn't say a word. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. But what no one knew was, I had been secretly paying for Nora's college for the past 2 years. Every single cent. And that night, as I stepped into the cold darkness outside, I knew one thing. I was done being silent. The night I left, I didn't go back to my apartment. I didn't even tell anyone where I was going. I just drove. No music. No GPS. Just silence, and the sound of my heartbeat in my ears. I ended up at a quiet roadside motel, paid in cash, and turned off my phone. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the peeling wallpaper, thinking, how did it come to this? That dinner wasn't just painful, it was eye-opening. For years, I had let my family treat me like I didn't matter. I gave, and they took and took. And now, the same sister I had protected all my life, Nora, had framed me for something so cruel, and my parents believed her without question. But they didn't know what I had done for her. 2 years ago, Nora had gotten into a private college, but she didn't get enough financial aid. My parents said it was too expensive and told her to take a year off. Nora cried for days. She begged them, said she'd lose her chance. I felt her pain. I knew what it meant to give up dreams. So I stepped in. I had just landed a long-term contract with a health website. I wasn't rich, but I had savings. I made a private call to the college's finance department and told them I wanted to cover her tuition, but I didn't want her or my parents to know it was me. I asked them to mark the payments under a general sponsor name. They agreed. Every semester, I paid thousands from my freelance earnings. I sold my DSLR camera, paused my own certification course, even canceled my gym membership. Every month was tight, but I made it work. Why? Because I loved my sister. And now, that same sister had looked me straight in the eyes and lied. She knew she had added those peanuts. She knew I never would.
But she did it anyway.
For what? Attention? Pity? I felt a new kind of anger building in me. Quiet. Controlled. Strong. I wasn't going to cry over this anymore. That night, I logged into the university portal using the donor access they had given me for receipts. I clicked on the payment plan section. The next semester's payment was due in 10 days. I hovered over the auto pay setting. Then I clicked cancel. Next, I emailed the school. Dear Office of Financial Aid, I would like to officially discontinue my sponsorship for student Nora Hernandez, ID number 032457. Please revoke all future payments associated with my donor account. Also, I request that no alternative billing or information be shared with the student until payment is missed. Best, SH. I shut my laptop and took a deep breath. Let the lies collapse on their own. Let them wonder why the money stopped. Let the truth find its way back. Because this time, I wasn't going to clean up their mess. 2 weeks passed. I didn't hear a word from my parents. Not a single text. No apology. Nothing. I wasn't surprised. That's how it always was in our house. When something went wrong, it was easier to blame me than to ask questions. Especially when it involved Nora, the golden child. But the silence didn't last long. On the 15th day, I got a call from a blocked number. Normally, I ignore those. But something in my gut told me to answer. Sophia? A hesitant female voice. I didn't respond. It's me, Nora. Still, I stayed silent. I know it was you. You paid for my tuition, didn't you? She blurted out. Nothing from me. I got a notice from the college today, she continued, her voice cracking. They said the payment was canceled. I can't register for next semester unless I pay in full. I didn't know it was you all this time. Why didn't you tell me? I almost laughed. Why didn't I tell her? Because I wanted her to earn things on her own. Because I never needed credit or applause. I just wanted her to succeed. And mostly because I never imagined she'd throw me under the bus like that. Nora, I finally said, my voice calm and clear, you didn't just accuse me of something serious. You tried to destroy my name in front of our family. I panicked, she shouted. I didn't mean for it to go that far. I shook my head. You almost made it look like I tried to kill you. It wasn't real, Peanuts. I just wanted to make you look bad for once. Her voice cracked. She regretted the words the moment they left her mouth. There it was. The truth. The ugly, selfish truth. You were always better than me, she said quietly. Even when they didn't see it. Your blog. Your job. Your health. You were everything I wasn't. I just wanted people to notice me for once.
I didn't yell.
I didn't insult her. I simply said, now they've noticed. Let's see what they do when you're no longer the perfect one. And then I hung up. Back in her world, everything was unraveling. I heard bits and pieces through mutual friends and social media. Nora tried to contact the university, searching for another donor, but no one came forward. My parents were stunned when she confessed that I had paid all her tuition. My father refused to believe it until she showed him the donor email. My mother? She cried. But not for me. She cried because, in her words, everything was going wrong. Still, no one reached out to me. Not even once. But they would. Sooner or later. Because the golden child was starting to lose her shine. And me? I was just getting started. 1 week after Nora's breakdown call, the silence finally shattered. It was a quiet Sunday morning when my phone lit up with a name I hadn't seen in a while. Mom. I stared at the screen as it rang. I didn't answer. She called again. Then a third time. Then came a text.
We need to talk.
Can you come home for dinner tonight? Dinner? It almost felt like a joke. The last time I sat at their dinner table, I was accused of poisoning my sister and kicked out like trash. I didn't reply. A few hours later, another message appeared, this time from an unknown number. Sophia, it's Dad. I was wrong. Please come home. Just for one night. My hands shook a little. Not because I wanted to go back, but because it was the first time in my life that my father had ever admitted being wrong. That man had blamed me for losing a doll he broke, and never once said sorry. Still, I didn't reply. I had learned my worth the hard way. That evening, I sat alone in my new apartment. Nothing fancy, just a quiet studio in a peaceful part of town. I made some tea, opened my laptop, and started writing a new blog post. When your family breaks you, how to rebuild. I wasn't writing it for them. I was writing it for me, and for the thousands who read my blog and felt alone in their own homes. Halfway through typing, I got a ping. Instagram notification at Nora Beauty uploaded a new video. I almost ignored it. but curiosity won. I clicked. There she was, Nora, sitting in her perfectly styled bedroom. Fake tears. A box of tissues in her lap. "Hi everyone," she sniffled. "I didn't want to make this video, but I've been really hurt by someone close to me." I blinked. Was she really doing this? My college funding just got pulled. I can't afford to continue school. The person helping me disappeared. I won't name names, but jealousy makes people do really evil things. She dabbed her eyes and looked into the camera. "If you care about me, please support my page. Even a little helps." I couldn't believe it. She was playing the victim. Again. I scrolled through the comments. Some people were sympathetic. But others? They remembered. "Didn't you lie about your allergy a while ago? Wasn't your sister the one who paid for your school?" This feels like pure manipulation. The tide was turning. I had never posted the full story. But months ago, I'd shared a cryptic message. I funded someone's dream while they were busy framing me. I deleted it later, but not before it spread. Now, it was resurfacing. The very next day, I got a DM from a well-known YouTube drama channel. "Hey Sophia, we're doing a feature on influencer sibling betrayals.
Can we talk?
We have receipts showing you paid Nora's tuition." I didn't respond. I didn't need to fight fire with fire. I just had to wait and let their lies collapse on their own. Because sometimes silence cuts deeper than screams. And this time, the world was finally seeing who Nora really was. By Thursday, the drama channel had already posted a 20-minute exposé titled, "Sister Betrayal: The Dark Truth Behind Nora Beauty's College Crisis." It had everything. Screenshots of payment confirmations linked to my donor ID, clips from Nora's teary video, even archived comments from my old blog post, hints I'd once dropped, now coming back to light. And best of all, they never mentioned my full name. They let the evidence speak. The video went viral. Within hours, Nora's comment section turned brutal. Her followers demanded answers. Brands that once showered her with PR packages quietly began unfollowing her. One skincare company even issued a statement. "We do not support influencers who fabricate emotional or medical situations for views or money." Nora tried to fight back. She went live the next day. "I didn't lie," she insisted, trying to hold herself together. "This has all been twisted. Yes, my sister helped me, but she never told me. And when she cut me off, I panicked. But it was too late." The internet doesn't forget. And it certainly doesn't forgive easily. Meanwhile, my inbox was overflowing. Blog readers wrote to me, sharing their own stories of betrayal. A podcast invited me to speak about emotional abuse within families. A wellness brand reached out, offering a collaboration on a cooking series called Healing Through Food. I wasn't just recovering, I was rising. That weekend, another message popped up on my phone. This one from Mom. "We're being torn apart. Please just call. Even for a minute." Still no apology. No responsibility. Just panic. I silenced my phone and turned back to my laptop. The sponsorship offer was more than generous. They wanted a 5-episode series, full creative control, and they were willing to fly me out to shoot the pilot. That night, I signed the contract. And just like that, Sofia Hernandez, the daughter they once dismissed, became someone people finally saw. Back in their house, Nora's world was crumbling. Her friends stopped inviting her out. College refused to let her return without full payment. And worst of all, Dad exploded. I didn't see it happen, but a cousin texted me the next day. Uncle Luis screamed at Nora in front of everyone. He found out she faked the allergy reaction. Said he's ashamed of what she did to you. A part of me pitied him. He had always been cold to me, but now I understood. It wasn't about who I was. He just believed what he wanted to believe. The next day, I got a new message. This time, from an unexpected sender. "Dad, if you don't want to come home, fine. But just know, I saw the footage." Nora wiped the camera files. "I should have listened to you. I should have believed you." I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. Because finally, the truth had done what I never could. It spoke louder than blood. 2 days later, a letter arrived at my new apartment. Not a text. Not an email. A real letter, folded neatly, hand-addressed, with no return name. But I knew the handwriting.
Nora.
I sat at my kitchen table, a mug of tea in one hand, the letter in the other. For a moment, I considered tossing it unread. But curiosity won. Dear Sophia, I don't know if you'll ever read this. I don't expect forgiveness. I just want to say,
I'm sorry.
I don't even know when it started, my jealousy. Maybe when your blog took off. Maybe when people started complimenting you instead of me. Maybe when I saw how calm and capable you were while I still felt like a child. But that night, I crossed a line. A horrible one. And now I've lost everything. College won't take me back until I pay what's owed. The sponsors are gone. Even Dad barely speaks to me now. Mom just cries and says she doesn't know what to do. But I do. I know this is all my fault. I found out how much you paid. I saw the receipts. It wasn't just money. It was your time, your comfort, your career. And I ruined it. For nothing. I won't ask you to come back. I won't ask you to forget. I just want you to know, you were never jealous of me. But I was drowning in jealousy of you. I've started working part-time at a diner. I'm saving to reapply next semester.
Slowly.
On my own. I'm trying to grow up. I hope someday you'll be proud of me, even from far away. Love.
Nora.
I folded the letter gently and placed it in my drawer.
I didn't cry.
I didn't smile either. It was sad. But it didn't undo what she did. And it didn't erase the silence my parents gave me when I needed them most. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need forgiveness. I needed distance. And now, I finally had it. That evening, I recorded the first episode of my new cooking series. The theme? Recipes for healing. Starting from scratch. As the camera rolled, I looked straight into the lens and smiled. Not for Nora. Not for my parents. But for me. The studio lights were warm. The camera crew was kind. Everything about this new chapter in my life felt peaceful. Even the soft humming from the kitchen set calmed me. As I stirred the soup in a large pot, I looked into the camera and spoke. Some recipes take longer to get right. Some burn before they bloom. But the best ones? They teach you patience.
And strength.
Today, we're cooking something simple but healing. That wasn't just the intro to my cooking video.
It was the summary of my life.
My series, Recipes for Healing, launched to a small but loyal audience.
People connected with it.
They sent messages like, I needed this after my sister betrayed me. This is the first time I cried watching a cooking video. You don't just cook, Sophia. You heal. And slowly, episode by episode, the series grew. A publishing house reached out, interested in a book. A women's empowerment podcast invited me to speak. One group even asked me to guest host a session titled, When Family Hurts, But You Heal Anyway. 6 months passed. I moved into a brighter apartment. I hired a small team to help with my blog and video content. I even launched a weekend workshop for women rebuilding their lives through food and wellness. But I never went back to my parents' house. Not for birthdays. Not for holidays. Not even when my mom called again, asking just to talk. I didn't ignore her, but I made something clear. I'm not angry anymore, but I'm also not coming back to where I was invisible. As for Nora, a friend told me she eventually re-enrolled in college, paying her way through savings and part-time work. Her channel never fully recovered, but she started posting real content. Stripped down.
Honest.
Vulnerable. Videos about failure. About growth. About taking accountability. Her subscriber count didn't explode. But the comments? They were kind. Encouraging. Healing. I didn't follow her. But I didn't block her either. I left her where she belonged, in the past, with a chance to grow. One quiet Sunday morning, I sat by my window with a cup of tea. The sunlight was soft. The breeze light. I opened my laptop and glanced at my to-do list. So many recipes to try. So many stories to tell. But for once, I felt no rush. Because now I wasn't doing this to prove anything. Not to my family. Not to my sister. Not to anyone. I was doing it for me. Because finally I had learned, the greatest peace doesn't come from being accepted by others. It comes from walking away and never looking back. If you enjoyed this story, let me know in the comments. What would you have done if your own sibling betrayed you like this? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life drama stories that twist your heart and turn the tables.